Hey everybody, how are you doing? This is Kirsten here, and welcome back to the Better Way with Kirsten Kimura podcast. Thanks so much for being here. And as always, if you watch this on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up and share this with your friends and family. And you can also share this podcast when you listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. On Apple Podcasts, you can also leave me a 5-star rating and a review. I really appreciate those reviews. So thank you so much already for sharing this podcast with those who you think might benefit from it. Today's message is going to be a pretty short one, but it is an important one. And the message is that weight loss is not going to solve all the problems that you may have. Okay. And it may sound like, oh, duh, yeah, of course, obviously. But how many people actually think that when they get to their dream weight, then they will just stop having these problems and their life will suddenly be super good and there's nothing to worry about anymore? How many people have these thoughts that once I get to, let's say, 140 pounds, then everything will be easier? Or maybe you might be even thinking that people who are in this like ideal weight and have a perfect body, their lives must be super easy and everything is like just like great all the time. But I don't think that this is true. And one of the ways to know is that most of you have at some point lost a lot of weight and gotten very close to what you consider your dream weight, or maybe you got to that dream weight and you still had some things that were not so great, right? Isn't that true? I think it is true. I know this for myself for sure. And so while I think that weight loss and fat loss can absolutely help you to get healthier, yes. Can become more confident, yes. It can do these things. Absolutely, lifting weights will make you physically stronger, yes, absolutely. But these things cannot solve some deeper issues that we might be having. Some deeper, let's say, thought patterns, behaviors, beliefs for sure. So weight loss doesn't solve those things. So let me talk to you a little bit more about the strength training part and what I think is so awesome about that. I think that strength training and sometimes also the body composition change that comes with it can be very, very empowering. And this is what a lot of women need, right? We want to feel empowered, we want to feel strong, we want to feel capable and all that. And strength training really can do that. But it will do it even if you don't lose weight, right? It will. So, for example, I saw this several times when I was still at the gym working as a personal trainer, that when somebody would like hit their personal best and they never thought in their life that they could get close to this weight, and then now one day they did, the joy was just tremendous, right? Oh my goodness, I did this. And this really does boost their confidence too. I remember this one lady who said, on Monday, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to tell every person that I see that I just lifted, I don't know, I think it was like 130 pounds or something like that, right? That was a really big thing for her. So she did feel very empowered, very confident, and strength training can and will do it, and it does it. And also, what's really awesome about it is that when you get stronger and you start pushing yourself, challenging yourself, you grow as a person. You do get more confident because you see what you're able to do. A lot of things you never thought you could, now you can. Every time you push yourself through a really hard set of something, you are getting more confident. You're learning that you are capable of doing really awesome, badass stuff, right? And when you hit your PR, that's even a bigger joy. Also, what can be a big source of joy and empowerment is that when you've never, let's say, worked with a barbell and you're like, okay, I'm here for it. Let's do it now. I'm going to put in the work and I'm going to put in the hours and just practice. This is a win too, because maybe you were super afraid of barbells before, and now you're taking the leap and you're going, you're doing it. So all these things really push you and grow you as a person. Okay, absolutely no doubt in that. Also, no doubt in the fact that if you're able to lose some body fat and you just look better, you will feel a little bit more confident in your clothes, right? You can wear nicer clothes. Maybe you can wear some clothes that were in the closet, tucked away for a couple of years, and now you can finally wear them again. And you can go out and you put on some makeup maybe and do your hair and like, oh yeah, I do feel awesome because I feel better in my body. So no doubt that these things will absolutely help you to get a little more confident, feel more empowered, and just happier in a sense, right? But now to think that all of our problems would just stop existing when we lose weight, this is not true. because there's stuff that is a lot deeper and can never be solved by changing your body. And these things are typically, when we have a lot of anxiety, or when we are lacking connection, or we're lacking community. And it's a big one, like when we feel unworthy, we don't have self-esteem, high self-esteem, we're feeling low, we're feeling like we're less than. So these things oftentimes don't get solved by you losing weight. So that's why I want you to understand that we have so many different sides as human beings. We're not just the physical, although this is what gets the most airtime, right? How many millions of people you see on Instagram who are like super beautiful and have the most perfect body, most perfect skin, most perfect hair, most perfect faces, there's just flawless, right? So that's what we see, and this is what we usually use to judge, that the how successful the person is or something like that. But we can never see inside, right? We can never see their soul and their spirit. What is that like? What do they feel inside? And that's only because what we can get the information from is the outside, and that's why we have learned to make that the most important thing. But a lot of people, whatever they look like, whether they're beautiful or not beautiful, they have a lot of things internally that need to be addressed in a different way, not through weight loss. And if you're dealing with low self esteem or unworthiness, or a lot of things that might come up, for example, in your relationships, all kinds of different problems like fear of rejection, fear of speaking up. A lot of stuff actually, this it comes from the sense of like fear, unworthiness, low self-esteem, that type of stuff. So how do we address then that? And I think that self-talk is where it really is at. So like I mentioned a couple of podcast episodes ago, this book, How to Talk to Yourself, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shed Helmstetter. It's a really great resource. So if you don't have it yet, grab that book and read it, because it shows you really well how some patterns, not some, all of them, are a result of our entire lifetime experiences. And these are some bad programs that are running the show if you're feeling really bad about yourself. If you're feeling unworthy, and if you have low self-esteem, you feel like I'm never be able to do this, that, and the third thing, I'm always worse than others. If you have constantly these thoughts, then addressing this part of you with body change is not going to get you anywhere, because you're targeting the wrong thing. So that's why I say self-talk. So now you have all these crappy programs in your head, and you can start changing them, right? So if you've heard these negative things several times in your life, several, yes, that's an understatement, like maybe all your life, and it doesn't stop, right? You still get messages from social media too, or other media from other people, that now you are learning to take in the wrong way too. You see everything as if I'm worse. Just because somebody else did something amazing, you think I am worse. If somebody else has some kind of great result, you think I can never do this. You learn to take these messages this way because this is how you were brought up. This is all you maybe experienced, and this is a program now in your mind. So how do you start changing it is, like I said, with a different self-talk. I think this is really the best way to do it. There are, of course, other ways too, I think. Maybe therapy will work for some people. Plant medicine can be a fantastic resource. It does take some preparation, and it's nothing easy. I've done this. It is very hard. But if you're ready for it, then, this can be a great way to do it. There may be some other options too. But I think self-talk is something that is really available to all of us, and we can start using it today. So the same book that I mentioned, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, the same author actually has an app too, which I think is really cool. So there are, I don't know, 20, 30 maybe little self-talk tracks that you can listen to when you are on your walk, when you're doing dishes, whatever you're doing. And the idea here is that because all of these messages are really positive, the more you listen to them, the more they overwrite the programs that are right now in your head. And there are very specific topics. There are, for example, self-esteem, positive living, dealing with stress, recovery, whatever you might be recovering from, They're different topics, and you can listen to something that is relevant to you. And you feel like after, some time of listening to it, you start thinking this way a little bit more. It's like you start noticing these like small moments of when you don't talk badly about yourself anymore, when you say something pretty cool about yourself. It starts to happen very slowly. And I think over time, this can become something different, right? This can become something that now, you are feeling better about yourself. You have higher self-esteem, you have higher self-worth, but it happened because you heard the right message repetitively and you did the right things at the same time too, right? You acted right like the person you want to be. One of my former coaches, Jill Coleman, always said, act as if. So if you're not yet that person that you want to be, then start acting like that person and put yourself in this person's shoes already. How would she act? What would she do? What would she say? And so when you think about somebody who has high self-esteem, who feels like a good sense of, I'm worthy, I'm a whole great person, this person wouldn't say shitty things about herself. So this person probably has a high self-esteem, high level of confidence. And like I said, you can get that too by just changing the programming in your mind, changing programming in your brain. So like I mentioned, I think body composition change is a great thing. It can be a very healthy thing to do. It can make you feel a lot better. It can make you a lot fitter. There's so many positive things. And a lot of times people who are physically fit are also mentally fit, right? Because like I said, becoming getting fit forces you to change as a person. You become a better person, you become more resilient, you get yourself through difficult things easier. You don't give up easily. So you can work on these same things, these two things at the same time. You can take care of your fitness, you can take care of your fat loss, and just feel better in your body, and love what you see in the mirror, and just like make you feel better. And at the same time, you can target the brain part of it, which is your mindset. How do you talk to yourself? And I think this is really how you put together the best possible version of you, because we have, like I said, different sides to us. We're never just physical, just like we're never only mental or never only just emotional being, right? We have so many different sides, so we can grow them all. And one more thing that I wanted to say before I wrap up is that I'm sure that you've seen a person who doesn't have the body that is like considered like the standard beauty, a perfect example of that. Maybe this person is even, let's say, overweight or something is let's say not very traditional, like beautiful, but this person can have a tremendous confidence and tremendous like sense of self-esteem, and it shows, right? Do you know a person like that? Have you seen a person like that who just walks into the room? They're not like a cover model, perfect at all in that sense, but the room just lights up because of the level of confidence and how they feel about themselves. So this person probably has a pretty good inner dialogue, right? It doesn't come across like cocky or whatever. It's true, it's real, it's like vibrant and strong and beautiful, right? That's how you can tell that this person really is confident and good with the way she is, even though she doesn't look the most perfect, like according to our common standards. So I hope that this makes sense. Like you can't solve some deeper issues with just weight loss. As awesome as weight loss and fat loss are, I think they really are awesome. They're really helpful. And obviously, it would be really weird if I said that it doesn't matter because this is what I do. I coach people, I help people in that way. But I just want to make sure that you always see that this is not the only thing about you. And it may be the case that when you quote unquote fix that part about you, you might still be struggling. So these struggles don't go away from just changing your body composition, and you have to start addressing them a little bit differently. And sometimes maybe it might be worthwhile to go back to some old stuff that hasn't been unresolved, write about it, journal, let it out, talk, feel the feelings, like do whatever you need to do. And I've practiced these things a lot myself. Everything I talk to you about here, most of the things I have practiced for a long time. And sometimes there's really emotions do live their lives in our bodies. And once they get released via, for example, journaling, life becomes lighter. But again, this would not have been accomplished via just weight loss. You have to like address deeper things in you that may be unresolved. So I hope that this podcast helped you a little bit to think about that side of us as humans as well, and don't put your all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. Don't think that weight loss is going to solve all the problems, because it won't. The best thing you can do is to take care of your physical body, get in a better shape if this is what you need to do, and then at the same time take care of your mind, to put better thoughts into it, put better input into put better input into it, right? That makes a lot of sense, but you know what I'm saying, right? So you have to take care of what you let into your brain and how you react to it. Okay, so thank you so much for being here today. I will see you again in the next episode. Take care.